All right.
Good afternoon. It's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
Coming to you a day early.
Yes, happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
We're going on a cruise.
That's right.
Dang it. Waited long enough.
15 days is what will be on
615
Saturday.
days. That is too long to go without a cruise.
Too long for us. Cruise crazy people. Yeah.
All right, you got a joke for us?
I do, yeah.
Let's hear it.
So, remember back when we used to eat cake batter after someone blew all over it? We were wild in those days.
Yeah, we drank out of garden hoses too.
Yeah. That's back when everybody had immune systems. Now no one has immune systems, so.
It's because we wash our hands too much.
That's right.
All right. I lost my pizza cutter, so I used a Bryan Adams CD.
Oh.
It cut like a knife.
Jeez. Yeah. Episode number 51, in case you wonder.
On our way to 100.
We're going to focus a little bit on the question of, well, and I guess not so much a question as will there be a foreclosure surge? And maybe you're hearing about this foreclosure surge that's happened. And what does all that mean? We're going to try to boil that down for you a little bit.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to that.
All right. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll put the links here. You know how to do that.
Okay, real quick, a little bit of history for this week. 1977, the supersonic jet Concorde makes its first landing October 19th in New York.
That was a big guy, big and fast, right?
Right. There was only a limited number of them, and they just flew back and forth across the sea. And unfortunately, it ended with one of them crashing eventually, and that kind of kiboshed the program. They stopped doing it. 1977 as well, on October 17th, slugger Reggie Jackson hits 3 home runs in one World Series game.
Yes, Reggie Jackson.
1968, Apollo 7 splashes down October 22nd after making a record 168 Earth orbits.
I wonder what team Reggie Jackson was playing for.
The Yankees.
Oh, okay.
He started with the Oakland A's, but he started his tumultuous relationship with George Steinbrenner as a member of the Yankees.
Yeah. Okay, sorry, derailed.
Okay, 1915, in New York, 25,000 women march October 23rd for the right to vote.
Yes, I have a little bit on that. Women's suffrage, yay. It's monumentous this week that we look at that. So this was 1915 when this happened.
Right.
Well, it took a few years. Congress finally passed the 19th Amendment on June 4th, 1919. It wasn't ratified until the following August into an actual amendment.
Right.
1920, August 18th, 1920.
Took way too long to get that.
Way too long for women to be able to vote.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. 1797, Old Ironsides, the Navy frigate Constitution, launches October 21st in Boston Harbor. 1777, Americans defeat the British October 17th, turning the revolution at Saratoga, New York.
Yeah.
Finally, in 1469, Ferdinand of Aragon marries Isabella of Castile October 18th, uniting Spain.
Uniting Spain. That's the big thing out of that. Wow.
Yep.
Excellent.
That's your history for this week.
History. We'll move into news.
Yep. Move on to some economic news. The global recovery has created an energy crunch. I haven't talked about this very much. Threatening stressed supply chains, stirring geopolitical tensions, and raising new questions. Okay, well, we've talked about this a lot.
About some of that,
this gets into global warming and climate change and all that.
Yeah, we've seen that.
With a World Climate Conference set in Scotland later this month, and I believe Vladimir Putin has already said he's not attending, so
Russia's out.
In Scotland later this month, sharp disagreements have emerged over the solution: tighter conservation or increased production. Which way do you go to solve the problem?
That's from the Washington Post.
Polar opposites, so I can see it's going to be
Interesting.
pretty tense.
All
yeah, that's
right.
from Washington Post. Okay.
Interesting to see what comes out of that.
Spending spree. Despite rising prices and supply chain issues, consumers kept spending in September, with retail prices rising a surprising 0.7%. Excluding autos, sales were up 15.6% over the same time last year. Even with the end of several enhanced government benefit programs, spending accelerated on fuel, food, and online sales.
Okay. So I wonder why they're excluding auto. Auto must have been
It's gone through the roof.
plus or minus that 15.6 then.
No, they're saying excluding auto. Oh, excluding autos.
Excluding autos, sales
yeah,
were up
I think
15.6.
autos are out of control, so it would.
It sounds like it. We've heard a
Yeah.
couple of stories, friends that are like, yeah, that sticker price, yeah, you'll pay more than that.
Yeah,
is
just
what
plan
they're
on
going
paying
into
over
dealership.
sticker price for a car.
Who's
That's
ever heard-
crazy.
I mean,
Yeah, never heard
I
of that.
haven't heard of that in my lifetime, but
Yeah, that's according to CNBC.
all right.
All right. The Department of Education announced last week it will reconsider unsuccessful applicants for the embattled Public Service Student Debt Cancellation Program. Since its inception in 2007, government employees can apply to have loans canceled after 120 payments,
Oh,
but
Okay.
have so far seen very little approval rate. So I guess they're going to adjust the approval
Okay.
system on that a little bit and see if they can have a little more. Housing news, moving on. Refinancing again dominated in August. You remember the last few months it's kind of dropped off a little bit, but it is back, rising to 53% of market share after falling below 50% for June and July. Time to close all loans has also declined 2 days to 46 days. And we're seeing them closed a lot faster than that, but
Yeah.
on average 46.
Yeah.
While the closing rate for all loans improved to 78.4% from 74.2%. So
That's
still
good.
tight standards. They're making you prove you can actually afford the loan, which is good. That's was the downfall of the crash, and so
Yeah.
they're staying firm that you need to qualify for this loan.
Right. So
And
again, that's something that caused that foreclosure problem that we had back in the day, was bad lending habits.
And false demand. There
Yeah,
wasn't
false
really
demand.
a demand for all that housing.
And that was pent up.
Yeah.
That was
So-
waiting to go on the market. Yeah. Anyway.
That was according to Mortgage News Daily.
Okay.
Okay, this is interesting. Reverse exodus. Now, we've kind of talked about since the pandemic how things have evolved with the working at home,
Okay.
where people that were stuck in high expensive urban properties found working remotely, they were able to move to the suburbs and get much more house, much more elbow room
Right.
space. So listen to this.
Okay.
Before COVID-19, 2020 was primed as a strong home buying year, but the pandemic left many potential buyers working from home, meaning they could move from expensive cities to affordable suburbs.
Right.
When short inventory fueled higher suburban prices, many smaller metros saw a growing reverse exodus back to downtown.
Okay.
So major cities have not experienced this, but some of the smaller ones like Austin, Texas, I hear that's one of the most exploding. Utah, Salt Lake City, some of those areas, you know, it's just
Okay.
exploding in real estate there. So that's kind of interesting how
That's
things
interesting.
evolve as what's happening in life happens.
Yeah.
Okay, that was according to Mortgage News Daily. New listings fell 8% for the 4-week period ending October 8th, but record high asking prices fell 0.7% to a median of 362,047. So that's good
Oh.
news for home buyers.
A little bit of correction.
A little bit. Still, that was up 13% from a year ago. So
Right.
again, we're going to have 2 double-digit the rest of the year, and then we'll start seeing some leveling off, I think. A third of pending sales were under contract within a week,
Ooh,
up
a week.
2.2% during a time of year that typically sees the market slow down. So that's probably an outlier, but we'll see what else it brings. Okay, that was according to Redfin. Finally, moving on to regulatory news. We've been talking about the Fed tapering their bond purchases, so
Taper
that's
talks.
getting closer to some serious meetings. The Federal Reserve could begin reducing its extraordinary bond buying program as soon as mid-November. It's right around the corner.
I'm not believing until I see it at this point.
Well, yeah, we got some less than favorable employment news.
Yeah, we did.
But
we talked about that.
we'll see what this month's employment report brings. That will probably be a tipping point of what they do. Anyway, most of their loans backed by the FHA and VA mortgage forbearance plans. Oh, wait, I've totally lost track here.
Sorry.
Thanks for the derail. It would likely reduce the $120 billion a month in purchases slowly, cutting $10 billion a month in treasuries and $5 billion in mortgage-backed securities. That's according to CNBC.
So that doesn't sound like a huge cutback.
Yeah, they're going to do it very, very slowly. They
Okay.
don't want to jolt the economy.
Yeah.
They know they have to do this, but they want to do it as slowly and painlessly as possible. So let's see how that works. All right, forbearance fallout. About 425,000 low-income U.S. homeowners are nearing the end of mortgage forbearance plans, with most of their loans backed by the FHA and VA. Mortgage servicers say they are well prepared to move struggling homeowners to alternative plans. So a lot of these might not even go through, any short sales, any foreclosures. Servicers are going to do their best to help struggling homeowners.
Right.
About 93% have at least 10% equity in their homes, according to Reuters. That's the other thing going on, is that it's very hard to find anybody who doesn't have equity in their home.
Right.
Unless they've just taken HELOCs out and just spent every dime of equity they can get their hands on. And even then, they're not going to loan 100%, so you're still going to have some.
So yeah, we saw a news reported this week that talked about foreclosure surge, and it was kind of a hook storyline or story title, and it just was saying that we've surged in comparison to last year. Last year there was a moratorium, so of course there's not going to have been barely any foreclosures. There actually were still a few foreclosures going on during that time that didn't meet the requirements of forbearance. But, so now that that's gone, the moratorium's gone, so we have foreclosures happening. Guess how much they are of the market? 1%? So we're talking maybe 100 homes, and we're talking valley-wide here in Arizona. The number was astounding. You saw the number and you're like, wow, yeah. But when you see the number compared to last year, you're like, okay, yeah, I guess I can see a surge 10 to 100 or 150, I think it was, maybe. Okay, so it's a surge, but
so it's how you look at the numbers.
It's a little blip, on the market.
Exactly, the number of sales. So.
I wish there was some inventory out there somewhere that would help alleviate our low inventory problems that we continue to have. But there's not. There's no pent-up demand like there was. The banks aren't holding on to properties anymore. Investors don't have 5 and 10 or more properties in their name, and people are renting them. And that's just not happening now. It's not the same thing.
Right. Yeah,
It's
they're
not the
dealing
same
with
market.
1 or 2 properties at a time, which is as fast as they can get them.
Right.
And then that leads to another report that came out this week about just the valley. And they're talking about 425,000 low-income U.S. homeowners.
U.S. home,
okay.
yeah.
The report focused on the Phoenix Valley, and it said, this economist said, that we are in need of housing badly, and we need about 400,000 just in Arizona. And this report's talking about 400, and they're going to be doing a program. They've been doing it actually, but it's finally coming to fruition where they're actually building homes to meet some of this demand, and they expect to have about 100 to 150,000 done. And you know, they're small, simple dwellings, but they help low income, homeless, very
Veterans,
clean,
you were talking
efficient.
about,
You know, they have small kitchens and a bedroom and a small great room, but you know, it's a house, and
Right.
it's badly needed housing.
And
so,
that number you're talking about to keep up with Arizona's demand is not a number that we need like right now. That's a number to keep up with our growing demand.
right, yeah,
People moving into the valley and that sort of thing, and families just growing.
right.
So yeah, I don't know what the time frame of that is, but
But that's just one example, one
Yeah.
small example of, you know, attempts to try to alleviate a need for housing. So forbearance is not going to be anything that
not going to
Lawrence
help
Yun,
us.
you know, Lawrence Yun of the National Association of Realtors, the chief economist, said, you know, any homes that we can get, we will take, because we are so short. You know, buyers frustrated leaving the market because they've been outbid in bidding wars. And
well, the other thing that I heard too is that the iBuyers, and we've talked about this before, those are the internet buyers or instant buyers. There's a couple different names for it right now, but those are Zillow homes where they're coming and they buy your home for you, so you don't have to put it on the market, you don't have to do any work, no repairs, all this sort of thing. Zillow just gives you a price. Or Open Door or OfferPad
right.
or Homey. All of these
no,
are
Homey is
very,
an actual.
they're similar. They're similar. They'll buy your house.
No,
People
they
are-
don't. Homey doesn't buy your home.
It will. If yours doesn't sell within like 30
Oh,
days, they
I
will
see,
just buy your
I
house, so
see.
you have
Gotcha.
cash to move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
But some realtors, and I hear some other people saying that all the iBuyers are buying up all the inventory. So that's why we as consumers or we as realtors can't find our buyers' homes, because they're buying it up. Well, we can disband that myth while we're here too, because those iBuyers, that company wants to turn that property over as quickly as possible to get it back onto the market. So again, it's not messing with inventory.
Yeah, they're not holding any property.
They're
so
not holding any property.
even if they
Yeah.
buy a property, they sell it within 90 days again.
Yeah. So, anyway.
It's a good point. Okay, moving on.
Moving on now to interest rates.
Interest
right?
rates, 30-year 3.248, 15-year 2.476, and VA is at 2.868.
So we've seen an uptick Just a
Yeah,
little
we're just
again.
very slight. We're seeing slight upticks. It actually is kind of hovering right at that 3.25 now.
3.2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Inventory, remember we went over 8,000 last week.
We did.
And we dropped
Yeah.
back down going into the weekend.
Ooh, 76.
7,695.
Okay.
Peoria is at 234 and Surprise is at 287.
Okay.
Trilogy at Estancia, 10 listings currently available,
Good.
534,900 being the most affordable, 899,900 being the most expensive.
And we have a new one coming on the market tomorrow. It's actually coming soon now.
Right.
Beautiful golf course home. I mean, inside and out.
Amazing Civitas
upgrades,
model.
and
I
it's
mean,
just
amazing.
beautiful,
This home
yeah.
is one of the most beautiful Civitas I've ever seen.
immaculate is definitely,
Immaculate,
and I don't
yeah.
always use that word.
Yeah, and just beautifully done. Everything is done just perfectly on it. So if you're
give us
interested
a
in
call.
seeing that home, give us a call.
Yep.
I'd love to show it to you. It's
Yep.
not going to last long.
It's on the golf course, just
Yes.
under 2,100 square feet.
Yep, 13th hole. Gorgeous home.
Gorgeous home.
I don't think we're allowed to do that.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, we are, because you're going to publish it before. Okay, there's rules
it'll be
about.
fine.
Okay. forget that part.
And it's coming soon anyway right now, so we can talk about the address. I could give the address if I wanted to. So
Right.
public. It's public.
Yeah, okay. All right, Vistancia Village, 23 homes.
Okay.
Most affordable, $419,900, and the most expensive,
Ooh,
$899,000.
all right.
Blackstone Country Club, same 2 homes, $830,000, and the highest, $1,199,999.
No, 1.2.
Well, I just rounded it.
Oh, you just rounded
to the actual, yeah. Okay, Portobello, 15 homes.
Oh, that's quite a bit.
That is a lot for
I
Portobello.
haven't seen that many in Portobello in a while.
I
All
can't
summer,
remember
all-
having 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Wow.
Okay, the most affordable in Portobello, $399,000. The most expensive, $1,075,000. So
Whew.
they have 2 homes over $1 million now in Portobello.
Okay.
And they have several, you know, $800,000.
Higher priced homes.
So they have some really expensive homes in Portobello.
Nice.
Sun City Grand.
Neighborhood.
Yes. Sun City Grand, 34 homes available, $325,000 the most affordable, $789,000 the most expensive.
Okay.
Sun City West, 49 homes, $179,500 being the most affordable, $689,000 the most expensive. And finally, Westbrook Village, 6. They had 10, I think, and now they've dropped to 6. So
Yeah.
a few of those
Okay.
left the market. 6 homes in Westbrook Village, $330,000 the most affordable, and $515 the most expensive.
All right.
All right, so that's our report
Very
for this
good.
week. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Looks like another gorgeous weather
Beautiful
weekend.
weather.
Yes.
Yeah. It'll be beautiful.
Have a blessed week, and we will see you when we return
Yeah.
next week.
See you next week.
So you found a joke?
I did.
Okay, here's your outtake. Okay, Google, play Bryan Adams' Cut Like a Knife.
Cuts Like a Knife by Bryan Adams. Sure. Playing on YouTube Music.
At Safelight, we have service the way you need it. So we have auto glass damage in Arizona. Safelight is
It's
here
a
for you.
damn computer. Or damn commercial.
Come to you. That's service on your time.
Is there going to be a punchline to this one, or is it just going to be some good music? I forgot about Bryan Adams. I'm afraid what's going to happen next.
Okay, Google, stop playing.